Can you talk a little bit more about the accelerator program that you were in? I mean, acceleration is such a general term. What do you get out of a program like that? What's that look like for you?
Yeah, sure. And I would say there's no way that we would have even had a product that could do anything by the time COVID hit, and we would have missed somebody else, or like we would have been way behind, and we wouldn't have got all that free traction and really started to like get our first initial. So, successful startups, they say like timing's everything. And we just happened to, have the capital, moved quick enough that we were in a good spot. Now, when it comes to accelerator, and I also think like if we hadn't have done the accelerator program, because that's essentially TechStars, when you do one of these accelerator programs, you essentially move there and you spend 3 months and all you do every day is work on your company, and they surround, you're there with 10 other companies, tech companies, and you're all there and you're all trying to, at the end of it, there's demo day, and every week you're checking in with each other to hold each other accountable. You have a whole bunch of really strong mentors that have built technology companies, sold them, or at technology companies, investors that are pretty much, you get a group of mentors and you just work at it, nonstop for 3 months. And that really accelerated our development, and not just the development, but also like honing in on the right product at the right time. And so, we got a lot of it. One, it's, the accelerating our business. Two, there's kind of like a strong stamp of approval from like TechStars or Y Combinator that you get with, additional.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Which adds to your story of people you can raise capital from. And then just great mentors that can give you advice as you're trying to make more right decisions than wrong ones.
So how did your product change as you progressed through the accelerator? How is it different when you exited that experience?
Yeah. So at the start, we had a product. We really just had the product that proved that property managers and renters should come together and do inspections together. Initially, we had thought, well, we were going to go after like renters would initiate it more. And so really what happened is we figured out that because we needed to grow fast, we needed to go after the property managers for them to give us distribution to the renters. We think down the road, there's things we want to build in our product that will allow us to serve renters and make revenue off the residents from other pieces of our product. But early on, like it's too hard to market to renters. So we figured out, okay, we need to focus on the property managers for distribution, and we need to focus on what is the exact tools, what's their number one pain point that we can solve that they'll pay for. And this was, well, they're paying for employees to drive and take photos and do all of this. If we can eliminate 90% of that travel time by having the residents do it, then that's we landed on, and we figured out, okay, let's focus on that only, and that's what we built. And so it's really the distribution and the messaging and how the product actually worked with like invites and this guided walkthrough, because we had to make we had to teach residents how to document a property as well as if a property manager was there walking through the property with them, right? Which was a difficult thing to kind of do initially.
Yeah, that sounds like a sort of an exercise in experience design that would be a challenge on a phone. Can you talk to a little bit about it? You must have had to iterate a little bit on that to get it right. How'd that go?
Oh yeah, that was essentially the number one thing that we iterated on to get the best experience. And part of how we did that was, we have built into the app, and we still do this today. Anytime a resident completes an inspection, they rate their experience, and they're forced to give us feedback, from their experience, and that forces us to see, if residents hate our application, if they like it. And we went from like a 3 out of 5 rating to now we're at like a 4.3 out of 5. Most residents like the experience. The ones that don't, they're just kind of like, why am I doing the landlord's job? Or they're just like disgruntled. But we built a mechanism to do that, and we interviewed tons of renters, tons of property managers. We walked through properties as to how property managers would walk through, and we essentially built a guided walkthrough that tells the residents where to stand, how to take the photos, and then catalogs it in a nice way. And so we really focused a lot of effort on this end user experience, so that somebody who's 18 and renting for the first time, or somebody who's 65, like whatever it may be, anywhere in between, like everybody can kind of have the same experience and it be a good one. But yeah, it was a ton of iteration, and it took that's where we focused most of our effort this last year on, hey, if we're selling to property managers, we have to deliver on our promise, which our promise is you're going to pay for our software and we're going to get you inspections that are done, as good or better than if you paid an employee, and you're not going to have to like pay an employee to drive and spend their time doing that. And so we had to make sure we got that piece correct in order for our entire business to function.